Hello, how's everybody doing today? I had a couple people email me and asking why I made a video about the 72-hour MRE ration. And I actually have a lot of different reasons why I do that. So the first reason why is obviously this is a Bible channel, and if you have been watching my channel, I'm going through the book of Revelations. The book of Revelations talks about a time where people are going to die by sickness, they're going to die by wild animals, they're going to die by war, but they're also going to die by hunger and starvation. It says that there's going to be a time where a measure of wheat is going to cost a penny. And a measure of wheat is how much you can hold with two hands. So if you clip your hands together, that's how much you can hold with two hands. And a penny is a day's wage. So let's say that the amount of wheat you can hold with two hands would cost you $50. Well, imagine how much pasta's going to cost, how much bread's going to cost, how much cookies are going to cost, how much bagels are going to cost. I don't think you can make much more than, let's be conservative and say 2 loaves of bread with a measure of wheat. So if it costs the people $25 to make a loaf of bread, how much things are going to sell to you for? $30, $40? I don't think that anybody's going to spend $30 for a loaf of bread. So what I started doing a couple years ago is I started trying different foods that had a long shelf life on it, and I ran across MREs and freeze dried foods and things like that. And I got a friend of mine who has a MRE company, and I've been getting stuff from him because I want to know what tastes good. I want to know what I like. There's a lot of different companies out there. There's Mountain House, there's Thrive, there's MRE companies, canned goods, things like that. Because I believe that very soon biblical tribulation is going to start. And there's no way that I'm going to pay $25 for a loaf of bread. And it says you can't buy and sell without a mark. So it wouldn't matter anyways because I can't buy or sell. So it would behoove you to have some food stored up. Secondly, as you guys know, in 2020, beginning of 2020, we had a little bit of issue where we weren't allowed to work, weren't allowed to go out, weren't allowed to be around people. And me personally, I didn't get to work for 2 months. Now, obviously I have money saved up. Obviously I have food saved up. So it didn't really affect me very, very hard. But if I didn't have food saved up, if I didn't have money saved up, I'd be in a real difficult situation. And I'm sure many people out there faced a very difficult situation. And also, if I'm right, very soon we're going to have a big world war. I don't know if it'll be just nations or if it'll be a big World War III. But whenever there's a big war, we have to ration food, and so it's harder to get food as well. If socialism comes to America, it's going to be really hard to get food. So there's a lot of different reasons why I think that people should have some food saved up. Now, I'm not asking you to have a big bomb shelter with, years supply of food. But I think conservatively, it's good to have about a month's supply of food saved up, just in case of Bible stuff, economic stuff, financial stuff, things you really can't control. And obviously you don't want to just go out and just buy a bunch of stuff and then find out you don't like it. So I buy a little here and a little there, and I eat it, I try it, and I see what I like. And then when I find out what I like, I store that up. Bottled water, canned goods, perishable items, meals ready to eat, freeze-dried foods. And that way, if something was to happen, like happened beginning of this year, and it's still affecting people today, I got a little bit of a buffer. So I think that it's very wise for Christians to have stuff saved up. It also says in Revelations that people are going to throw gold and silver out on the streets. It talks about a one world currency, a one world government, which pretty much tells me that your money's going to be useless sometime soon, whether that's next week or 100 years from now. Very soon, money's going to be obsolete. It's not going to be worth anything. So having money saved up in the bank isn't really going to help you. So it would be a good idea to learn how to farm, take care of some farm animals, and have food saved up. It's good to have a plan. I'm not saying you got to be some kind of hardcore prepper. I know people personally that have 2 or 3 years worth of food saved up. I'm not saying do that. But I think, in case of some kind of a natural disaster or an economic disaster or a biblical disaster, it's good to have a month saved up. If something big was to happen and I have a month of food saved up, I can move and not have to worry about eating. I can take a walk and not have to worry about eating. I could put stuff in the car. I've got options. So that's one of the reasons why I do MREs. And honestly, if I didn't have a friend that had a company that did MREs, I probably would be doing MREs. I'd probably be doing freeze-dried foods like Mountain House or Thrive or there's a lot of different companies out there that have freeze-dried foods. You just add water and mix it up, and and there is freeze-dried MREs as well. And freeze-dried food lasts for, I think, right around 25 years, where MREs only last for like 3 to 5 years. I mean, they're usually good after that, but they got a expiration date because they don't want people to get sick. But they usually last longer than 3 to 5 years. But I worry because the average American doesn't even have a week's worth of food saved up. And we found out just beginning of this year how important it is to have just a backup. Just something that, that 72-hour ration I can put in my car and I can go for a drive. And I can go pretty much anywhere in the United States except for Alaska and Hawaii within 3 days. I don't go worry about food. I can, and then honestly, that's enough food probably for one person for a week. And then if you ration it, it's going to last even longer. I think there's like 18,000 calories in there. You figure an average person needs about 2,000 a day. That's 9 days worth. So, but I think it's really important, especially if you look around, you're seeing what's going on, to be more conservative. Now, obviously, people aren't working, so they don't really have any extra money. But if you do have some extra money, I would suggest buy some freeze-dried foods, some canned goods, bottled waters, just as a store. I mean, imagine. Back in 2008, I remember we lost power for 3 days. No refrigeration, no freezer, no heat, no cooling, no way to cook food unless we put a fire outside. Those MREs, I could just open up the bag and eat them. Freeze-dried food, I could just add water to it and wait 20 minutes and I can eat it. Canned goods, you can open the can and eat right out of the can. So it's a really good idea to have food stored up. And though I'm not one of those MRE ration reviewers, and I think it's a good idea for Christians to have something. And like I said, if you don't know what you like, you got to try different things. You can go to pretty much any outdoor place. I think Walmart and Myers, they're going to have freeze-dried food. And they're not going to have a big supply. They're not going to have a big selection. But they'll have like Mountain House. They'll have energy ration bars. And they're like $10, $15. Just buy one. Try it out. And it's obviously not worth $5, $10, $15. But if you're in a pinch, you'll pay $20 for a meal. But at least you could try it, see if you like it. And if you do like it, you could put, 2 or 3 bags in your storehouses, and in case of emergency, you got something to eat. But anyways, guys, that's the video. I just wanted to explain to you guys why I did an MRE video on a Bible channel. I think it's a very conservative idea to do that. I think it's a very good idea to have food stored up. And we saw beginning of this year. Like I said, I was out of work for 2 months, and I'm sure there's a lot of people still out of work right now. And it's a very difficult thing. And honestly, if I didn't have food stored up, I don't know. I probably would have been fine, but it definitely made life easier for me. So, anyways, guys, comment below. Tell me what you guys think. And comment. Let me know if you guys have had MREs, if you've had freeze dried food, if you have some canned goods stored up. What do you guys think about this idea of prepping food, not for a couple years, but maybe for just a couple weeks to a month, just as a little bit of a buffer. I'll see you guys next time. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and have a great day. Bye bye.